The month of October is half gone, and the high school football season in West Virginia reaches Week 8. In Spencer, the Roane County Raiders set out to climb into the top 8 of Class AA, which would be good for a home playoff game down the road. Currently, the Raiders are 9th. Tonight's opponent is Scott. It's now or never for the Skyhawks, who will likely need to win their final 4 games to be a possible postseason team in the AA ranks come November. The last time these programs got together was a year ago in the playoffs, with Roane coming away victorious. They are now set to meet for a 10th time at beautiful County Stadium in Spencer. It's the Scott Skyhawks and the Roane County Raiders in our latest edition of the Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University.
It is one of the prettiest of venues for high school football in all of West Virginia, and tonight County Stadium on the campus of Roane County High School in Spencer is the site for a matchup between the homestanding Raiders of Roane County High and the visiting Scott High Skyhawks. Roane County coming in at 5-1. Scott is 1-5 on the season. It's our 8th edition of the Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University. A great evening for high school football here in Spencer on this third Friday night of October. Greetings from Spencer, along with analyst Jim Mahan, Hannah Klein on the sidelines, and our wonderful FNR crew, Mark Martin. Delighted to have you with us. Jim Mahan, one of our favorite places to come each year right here, County Stadium in Spencer.
Doesn't get more spectacular than this fall box set with these leaves. Just scripted perfect weather this evening.
All right, two teams kind of going in different directions. Roane 5-1, Scott 1-5. Scott's got to get going. Roane County wants to keep it going.
Yeah, Roane County needs to keep it going to get home field advantage. Scott is 1-5, but 4 of those losses against really tough teams. So this could be a trap game for the Raiders.
Yeah, 4 of those teams undefeated on the season against the Skyhawks. Let's talk about some of the good players we'll see here tonight. We saw Scott 2 weeks ago, and this guy was impressive on the offensive side of the football for the Skyhawks in Mason Brown, and he's also an outstanding returning defender at linebacker, a guy Jeremy Dolan, Jim's going to be leaning on a lot here down the stretch of the season.
Yeah, senior leadership from Mason Brown. He was really tough on both sides of the ball a couple of weeks ago. I expect nothing less from him.
Flip it over to the Raiders. Jacob Greathouse. What more can you say? His 4th season as the starting quarterback. He's an all-state defensive back a season ago. He's the only player in Roane County history who has been a starting quarterback, Jim, all 4 years.
If you go to Spencer and you don't have a Greathouse, there's probably something wrong. So, we'll be talking about that, I'm sure.
Yeah, they got several on the roster. We'll discuss that as we move along. The city of Spencer is known for the Black Walnut Festival, which edition number 71 took place last weekend. Tonight, here at Roane County High School, the stage is set for a great high school football showdown. The 10th meeting all time between Scott and Roane County is coming your way next on our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week, presented by Glenville State University. Campus of Roane County High School in Spencer, where we are getting set for a showdown between the Roane County Raiders and the Scott Skyhawks. Go back to November, and these teams battled in the playoffs. Roane County winning. Roane County went to the state championship and played Frankfort for the AA title. Let's head down to the field for our coin toss.
Guys, congratulations being selected team captains of your football teams. We expect you young men to be the leaders of your football team. Good sportsmanship, let's play hard, knock each other around a little bit, but it's also good to pick each other up. Make sure you get the ball back to one of the officials, okay? Roane County, you're the home team. We're going to refer to you as red. Scott, you're the away team. We're going to refer to you as white, okay? I got a coin, that's the head, that's the tail, that's the tail, that's the head. Will you tell Mr. McVaney what would you like to call?
Tails.
Tails is the call, guys. Yeah, there's a tails. You've won the toss. What would you like to do?
Defer.
Okay. Scott has won the toss and left the 2 defer. That means you guys want to take the football, correct?
Defer.
You guys want to defend the scoreboard to have it in the second quarter? Yep. You guys swing around this way. Roane, you swing this way. Roane County will receive. Guys, shake hands. Good luck to both teams tonight.
All right, the Roane County Raiders will have the football to get it going here inside County Stadium, and Paul Burdett's team ready to storm onto the field. What a shot from high above as the Raiders make their way onto the beautiful turf. Talked to Paul Burdett earlier this evening, the outstanding head coach for Roane County, a Roane County graduate, said, welcome home. They'd been on the road for 3 weeks. In fact, Jim, they were in Jackson County 2 straight weekends. Played Ripley, knocked off the Vikings last week, knocked off your alma mater, the Ravenswood Red Devils.
Stayed there during the week, just to kind of hang out there in Jackson County. Mark, I don't know if you play cards, but there are 2 captains on Roane County's team, the Great House, of course, and there's 2 captains on the Scott side, Browns. So a pair of Browns, a pair of Great Houses.
There you go.
Don't know who's going to be coming out on top, but be interesting to watch how this unfolds.
Go-Mart sponsoring tonight's game. Go for good times, go for Go-Mart. And of course, tonight's presenting sponsor, Glenville State University, where champions are made on the field and in the classroom. With more than 150 years of tradition, Glenville State is committed to helping students rise to the challenge and reach their goals. Glenville State University, pioneers for life. Tucker Breedlove, a senior, set to tee it off for our West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades kickoff, where the future is forged. Now you got Jacob Greathouse. How good is he? Good enough to be back deep on kickoffs along with Javon Letourneau. Letourneau, a promising sophomore.
Yeah, Mark, not an accident that Greathouse is back there. He's going to get as many touches as he can.
And how about the Skyhawks with the onside kick? Did they get it? They did. What a job by Scott, and it was Caden Sharps, the outstanding wide receiver defensive back, and what a call by Jeremy Breedlove to get it going.
Some great skill, a perfect bounce there. Sharps comes up with it, gets knocked out of bounds, and Scott gets the ball in great field position to start this game.
Well, when you're 1-5, you've lost 4 games to undefeated teams. You've had so much success the last few years. Try everything you can. Jeremiah Brown is the starting quarterback, and it's going to be offsides against Roane County, so give the Skyhawks 5 more.
Quite a dubious start for the Raiders. Didn't even anticipate an onside kick, and now here they are, 1st and 5 instead of 1st and 10.
Jeremiah Brown, Jim, we were there 2 weeks ago. He went the entire way for Scott in the second half of that game against Mingo Central as the QB. Hands to guy we talked about at the beginning, Mason Brown, just a power back, an Owen Schmidt type player, Jim.
Yeah, he's a banger. He likes to put it up in there, and he doesn't worry about getting hit. He likes to actually hit.
Sharps goes in motion to the far side of the field. Now they'll hand it off here to Neal. And Neal trucks it to the 29-yard line. Ryan Neal, the senior, does everything. Not a speedster, but he's hard to bring down, a very elusive runner. Third down for the Skyhawks. Ball right at the 30.
Did a nice job of cutting that upfield instead of stringing it on out to the sideline. Made it 3rd and short.
Give it to Brown, and Brown going to be wrapped up there by that Raider D. Good job by Roane County defensively.
Yeah, bottled up inside Roane County, just putting about 8 guys in the box. Almost really daring Scott to throw. You'll see here, not a whole lot of running room in there at all for Brown.
Richard Greathouse, Quentin Cooper, senior and a junior on that defensive line. So 4th down here for Scott, trying to take advantage of recovering that onside kick to start the game. Here's a pass and in the direction of Sharps, and defended nicely there by Jacob Greathouse, and Roane County takes over on downs. Greathouse showing you why he was an all-stater on the defensive side of the ball a year ago.
Yeah, he may have got a hand in there a little bit early, but of course really good defense there by Greathouse. Sharps just couldn't haul it in, and Roane County will take over on the 30-yard line, probably where they would have been had it been an initial kick. We'll see how Greathouse runs this offense. You're going to get a heavy dose, Mark, of running out of the Roane County Raiders. They like to use their lineup, those guys up front, and they like to run the ball.
Yeah, it's a power formation indeed. And here is Letourneau, who's got some great speed, and Letourneau finds daylight. Letourneau to the 10 and finds the end zone, 70 yards, no flags, and just like that, Roane County dents the scoreboard.
I was going to see how long it took Robert to run this scoring drive. Just as long as it took, however, to run 70 yards. Of course, he was coming from the backside off of that handoff, but a little bit more than 70 yards. Outstanding blocking, especially out on the perimeter. We'll see that in the replay here in just a minute.
Well, I tell you what, they are high on this young man. They lost their top returner as a running back. Now, they had a 3-headed monster last year, but Brady Proctor had been in a lot of action a season ago, and he was really a guy they were counting on, and it really hurt them. But, boy, some other guys are stepping up. Here's Greathouse trying to convert the 2-point play, fires, and the catch is made. What a grab. Letourneau showing not only does he have wheels, he's got hands, and he makes the sensational grab for the 2-point try, and Roane County has struck first here.
A wonderful sense of awareness, Mark. He's right there on the edge in the end zone with his feet just barely in bounds. Here's a replay off of that, almost like a jet sweep outside. See the great kick out, and then with Letourneau and his speed, you can forget about it. He's going to the house, 70 big, 6-0 easy for the Raiders.
Yeah, Letourneau only needs 30 more yards to break 100 here in the game.
He's probably on his way toward that.
Wow, impressive. 752 yards coming in, 68 carries, averaging 11.1 per carry.
He did not hurt his average on that carry right there.
No, he did not. Our scoring summary brought to you by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program. One play, 70 yards, 11 ticks for Letourneau to go those 70 and reach the end zone. Just like every play counts on the field, every decision counts behind the wheel. Put the phone down and keep your eyes on the road. Don't drive distracted. Put it down. Save a life. Time for another West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades kickoff where the future is forged. Well, they lost their kicker due to an injury, so it's been kind of by committee. And how about Greathouse with the tackle on the kickoff return there? Hunter Woodrum on the return. Let's head down to Hannah Klein. Good evening, Hannah.
Offense has been balanced and efficient all season, and the defense has a way of shutting teams down after halftime. If they establish a run early and get pressure on Scott's quarterback, they will be tough to beat. Mark.
All right, thank you, Hannah. Leo Rogers making the tackle there on Jeremiah Brown on the first down play.
Yeah, Jeremiah Brown, Mark, he was just about one step away from having all kinds of daylight on that left side if he'd have gotten through that initial surge from the Raider defense.
Spectacular night here in Spencer, celebrating the 71st Black Walnut Festival last weekend.
Spencer shifting those linebackers in that 5-3. Got 5 guys up front plus 3 linebackers. They got 8 guys in the box, Mark, so going to be some tough sledding here for the Skyhawks. They're probably going to need to open up through the air a little bit.
Richard Greathouse makes the stop. Brown, who has the second down carry. We'll look at it here in that Raider front.
Yeah, a little bit of lead blocking there from Brown to Brown.
So the Skyhawks.
I'm sure Coach Dolan was not really envisioning having 3rd and +5 on the yardage marked.
Brown steps back, fires. Neal makes the catch, and Neal going to be stopped close to first down yardage, but taken down. Letourneau made the stop of Ryan Neal, the senior, who comes up hobbling just a bit.
Yeah, that's like maybe an ankle, maybe a twist on the ankle or something. Letourneau, Mark, you talked about him earlier. We saw a little bit of his speed. You saw what kind of coverage you have. Just a sophomore, so they really high on this kid. They expect big things from him as he develops in his career here at Roane County.
Well, we saw Neal hobbling there. He is the punter. He will be the guy doing the kicking, and, well, they go for the fake, and they didn't get it.
That one got read really quick by that Roane County defense. They saw that, snuffed it out, and now they're sitting on a short porch heading in with an 8-0 lead, Mark.
Cooper Grant tried to get that first down for the Skyhawks. Roane County having none of it. They surprised them on that onside kick to start the game, but not this time. And Roane County with excellent field position here. Jacob Greathouse, Letourneau, we've already seen what he can do. Colton Starcher, he's going to be something else, already is, but he really showed signs of being a great player last year as a sophomore on that talented state runner-up team. Here's the handoff, little misdirection, and nice move made there. Sharps couldn't hang on, and taking off with the football is Evan Greathouse, and Greathouse will find the end zone, and Roane County has punched it in again. 2 offensive plays, Jim.
Ran by 2 sophomores with outstanding runs. Evan Greathouse, a sophomore. Of course, Letourneau we'd already talked about earlier. So they've ran a total of 2 offensive plays and scored, well, 12 points. We can't really count their 2-point conversion.
Greathouse with his 4th touchdown of the season. That's Evan Greathouse.
Yeah, we have to establish there's Evan, and there's Richard, and
there's Hogan,
there's Jacob, and there's Hogan.
All right, 2-point try here for the Raiders. Handed off, and a good job there defensively by Scott on the 2-point try. Get it into the hands of Starcher, and Starcher was taken down there, but here is that touchdown run. Boy, Sharps had him. Sharps is a sure-handled tackler, but he just could not hang on. And into the end zone goes Evan Greathouse. Cooper Grant makes the nice stop there on the 2-point conversion for the Skyhawks, but they trail at the moment 14-0. We'll come Well, just like that, Roane County leads it 14-0, one play. 10 seconds off the clock. And Evan Greathouse into the end zone. 2 plays for Roane, 106 yards. Scott has run 8 plays, 13 yards, averaging 53 yards per offensive play. Our West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades kickoff. And surging ahead there, good field position for the Skyhawks. Carry made there by Scott's Cooper Grant. Down to Hannah Klein we go.
I've been watching her all evening long. This is Emma. She's a senior right here at Roane County High School. You have to tell people she's got an earpiece in, and she's been doing some of her live shots. So kind of tell people exactly what you've been doing.
So I've been starting to do the sideline reporting with our local radio station, WVRC 104.7. So I interview the guys at our high school throughout the week, and then I just talk about what they say about the game. I'll ask them questions like, how are you feeling going into the game? What have you been practicing going into the game? And I just put it all together and then talk about it in between quarters and halftime, and then I interview the coach after the game.
So you've always wanted to be a sideline reporter?
It started with just regular broadcasting. I was like, I can do news. But then once I started looking at sports, I was like, I think I'd enjoy that a lot more. So then whenever I was like, I think that's something I could do, I mentioned it to our radio station because they always broadcast the games on YouTube Lives. And I was like, is this something that we could do? And he said, yeah, let's do it as a sideline reporter. And so he got everything all set up, and I've been doing it all year.
What I love about Emma, I'm going to brag on you real quick, is that your school didn't have a program for it. And honestly, my high school didn't have a program for broadcast. And you just took matters in your own hand and said, okay, then I'll just jump out here, get my own earpiece, and I'll do it myself. What have you learned through this whole experience?
I've definitely learned. I think that it's better I've done it now because now I know how to get prepared, and I'm going to know what it takes to do it, how to get the interviews, how to piece it together. That way I'm not learning how to do it when I'm wanting to get into the job field.
So proud of you. Maybe you'll have to come by Eyewitness News or check out our sports department soon. Okay? Absolutely. All right. Mark, I'll send it back.
All right. Thank you, Hannah. Emma's got a future, no doubt. Well spoken. Here is Jaden Sharps. He made a catch earlier, an outstanding grab. Caden Sharps. Jaden, his older brother, who was an all-stater, and boy, took a hit there, but I think he's up, going to be okay. He was the guy that we pinpointed prior to our other telecast we had, Scott. Just an outstanding young man and a guy they will count on. But he had a big first down catch, and our first downs here in the first quarter, sponsored by Bridge Valley Community and Technical College. Find your path.
Yeah, Scott really needs to open up a little bit with some of that short passing to get that pressure off. They got those 5 guys up front and just kind of bottlenecking their running game.
Well, he handed it to Brown. Seemed like it might have been a tough exchange there between Brown and Brown. Jan Dills is proud to sponsor the streaming of tonight's FNR game on Facebook and YouTube. Injured in a car wreck, called Jan Dills. Attorneys at law, we won't take no for an answer. She mentioned radio station WVRC, one of my first jobs in broadcasting here in Spencer Gym for the great Bob Edwards. Learned a lot from Bob and our buddy Andrew Miller. You know, he's now the owner of that station. Yeah. We've done a lot of stuff with Andrew. Here is Jeremiah Brown, and boy, he just runs in to a brick maroon wall.
Yeah, you got those 5 guys up front, Mark. You've got 3 seniors and 2 juniors. You got Elliott, Cooper, Greathouse, Richard, Wyatt, and Brabham. There's just nowhere to go. They got a good physicality going on, able to shed the blockers and go straight to the ball.
Well, they'll have to drop back in punt formation. Mason Brown is the long snapper. Ryan Neal is the punter. And Neal delivers. And the Skyhawks will be on it. Hunter Woodrum will down at their 6-yard line. So see if that will pay off for Scott defensively as they pin the Raiders back deep in their own territory.
Well, while we were away, Mark, they did get a first down and were really close in that second one. So it looked like they were starting to get a little bit momentum through the air, not doing much on the ground. What they're going to need to do is have some sure-handed tackling to try to keep this ball on this end of their field territory so that, you know, they can put a little pressure on the Raiders.
Roane County led by veteran Paul Burdett, a former Raider standout, Cody May, Rick Cottrell, Justin Roberts, Tank Blosser, Brian Kraft, all on the staff. Brad Nichols, James Miller, the medical staff.
Well, it was the high school version of a tush push there. Without the push, Great House is able to garner almost 4 or 5 yards just straight up the gut.
Well, you think about it, you're a freshman and you're the quarterback. And, you know, you look around and you see all the seniors and then you blink and
now you're a senior.
You are the senior,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
what a leader he has been. Just a young man. He just continues to get better and better and has led Roane County to a lot of victories. Letourneau weaving his way through traffic. He was tripped up. Neal puts the finishing touches on him there.
It looked like he's able to gain enough yardage for them to move the sticks for the Raiders as they get a little bit out of that shadow of their goal post.
It's a Bridge Valley first down for Roane County. Jeremy Dolan, the head coach of the Scott Skyhawks in his 5th season, final season for Coach Dolan. Dean Brenniger, Josh Sharps, Richard Chandler, Sean Elkins, Roger White, Shane Queen, Bo Jeffrey, Timmy Brown making up his staff. Ben Bush and Dane Messer, the medical staff. Roane County with 3 first downs now. Great House will hand it off, and a good job by that front wall of Scott Moose Miller, the junior, number 74, leads the charge. Strongest young man on the team. Takes 185 pounds and reps it about 36 times.
Yeah, he didn't have any trouble getting a hold of Starcher there and keeping him from going anywhere. Of course, a good gang tackling there by the Skyhawk crew on defense.
And Colton Starcher, he was a tight end last year. He's 6'2", 215. He's a good-looking football player. Evan Greathouse in motion. Here is Letourneau, and Letourneau will be taken down. Good job again by Scott up front as the Skyhawks try to keep this Roane County offense in check. Sophomore David Jones making the stop.
Yeah, good job. You'll see that counter back the way, and you see a really, really nice job from number 51.
David
there.
Jones, yeah.
David Jones doing a really nice job of staying where he was supposed to be.
Well, now we're going to have movement. And it's going to go against the Skyhawks. Those are the type of mistakes, Jim, you just can't have in a game. Certainly already down 14-0. And you just gave the Raiders first down yardage.
Yeah, they just felt like they're getting into the rhythm of the game, with the contact and the tackles, and they've been on this end of the field, and then they jump and give them a first down, fresh set of downs. Can't do that.
Letourneau in motion. Starcher carries the football. Cooper Grant makes the tackle. Grant came over from Van High School. Very hard-nosed, old-school player looking to hit somebody, and he hits a pretty good one there in Starcher and takes him down.
Yeah, Cooper Grant does a good job of kind of lowering his shoulder to get lower than Starcher so he could bring him down to the ground.
Of course, sadly, Van High School doesn't have football this season, and a good job there. Jeremiah Brown from his linebacking position will take down the speedy Javon Letourneau.
Yeah, I kind of thought Letourneau would cut that back, but he kind of strung it out a little bit. That's, a little bit of a sophomore mistake, I think, Mark, just trying to bounce it outside. Not able to get outside of Brown.
And there's Jeremiah Brown there. Jacob Greathouse, of course, the quarterback for Roane County. And he's got the play, and the Raiders see what they can dial up here. Football at the 26, 3rd and 11. And Greathouse looking to throw for the first time. Launches. Beautiful shot. Letourneau gets behind the defense. And Letourneau is into the end zone for the touchdown.
Wow.
Well, you give Greathouse time. He doesn't throw it a lot, but give him time, and you got a speedster like Letourneau, and he takes it for the touchdown.
Yeah, Mark, you don't see that very often where there's that kind of air, and then Letourneau's able to kind of just run under it. As a beautifully thrown ball there by Greathouse.
Greathouse on the extra point try. It's no good and keeps the score at 20-0. Well, Scott had done the job, Jim. The boy on 3rd down and 11. They let Greathouse air it out, gave him time. Letourneau got behind the secondary.
You see how deep Greathouse got and just put a whole lot of air under that. Letourneau in just perfect stride catches it, and with his speed, lights out.
Hunter Woodrum trying to chase him down, but to no avail. So, we take another look at it. Our West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program scoring summary. 7 plays, 94 yards, and the longest drive of the game for the Raiders at 3:51.
Yeah, they're so used to one play and then X number of yards in less than 15 seconds. This one, if you want to say they grinded it out a little bit, there was a little bit of work there trying to get that one.
Let's head down to Hannah Klein. Our T-shirt gun is brought to you by the West Virginia Federal Credit Union. Experience the credit union difference as Hannah fires away here at County Stadium. Roane County has struck big here. Cody Howard kicking it off for the Raiders. Scooped up and upended there is Scott's Hunter Woodrum on our West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades kickoff where the future is forged. Skyhawks have to get a score.
Yeah, they definitely need to get some ball control and let their offense stay out there. But who else do you see on the tackle? Jacob Greathouse. He's everywhere. He's on defense, on offense, on special teams, trying to kick it. He's all over the place. Yeah, they really need to establish something. Brown here, Jeremiah Brown needs to. They've been having a little success in there. Maybe can do some short passing.
Handed off, but quickly wrapped up there by Richard Greathouse, taking down Drake Daniels.
Yeah, Richard Greathouse, the nose tackle, he's a senior. He's just a handful, Mark. I mean, when he gets a hold of you, you're not getting away from him.
So you got Richard, Evan, and Wyatt. They are brothers. Jacob, Hogan, and Cooper are not related.
Yeah, that they know of, right? There's probably some cousin somewhere along the line. I don't know.
I dig deep, and I do a lot of research, but I just did not have time to go back that far.
Yeah.
2nd down, 12. Time running out. Brown looking to throw. Firing, and that one will fall incomplete. There is a penalty flag coming out. We'll check that out with 9.4 showing on the clock here at County Stadium.
Well, I think there was some hindrance there from the Raiders secondary in terms of what really wasn't holding, but just not allowing him to run his pattern.
Jim West is our referee tonight. Brock McBaney is the umpire. Bob Powell, the head linesman. Greg Church, the line judge. And Bill Sams is the back judge. Another look, Jim.
Pretty good arm there by Jeremiah Brown. But you see there was a little bit of a hold up there on that pass pattern. You see the flag fly there right in the lower right-hand corner.
All right, Skyhawks. Well, you just keep swinging. A lot of time remaining in this game. And here's Neal. And Neal's got some daylight. And Ryan Neal. And a flag comes out, and then another flag comes out.
Yeah, you see Neal was at least 3 or 4 yards out of bounds, and then he got hit. So I'm sure that at least one of those is a late hit for sure.
Yeah, there's two in the team area of Roane County. They'll sort it out here. Roane County with 3 touchdowns here in this first quarter. Raiders' lone loss of the season to Williamstown. Paul Burdett said it just wasn't our night. They've since bounced back with 3 consecutive wins, all on the road.
And that was an early game, early in the season, Roane and Williamstown. So, yeah, they've really been clicking. So really they're probably just figuring out, here we see that, you see bouncing it to the outside. You see Neal, he's way out of bounds when he gets hit. So they're not offsetting penalties because the ball was dead where he was out of bounds. So they tack off the 15-yard holding penalty, and then they turn right around and give him the dead ball personal foul.
Here's Neal looking for some daylight again. And will be stopped at the 45-yard line, and that brings us to the end of the first quarter here at County Stadium in Spencer. Roane County on top of the Skyhawks of Scott High School. Beautiful shot. Don't forget our school bus stop of the game coming up after tonight's telecast as we bring you a great defensive play. It is Roane County 20 and the Scott Skyhawks nothing. We head to the second quarter in a moment here on our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by Glenville State University. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, 11:30, it's the Saturday Sports Showcase. High above here at County Stadium in Spencer. Beautiful shot as the Roane County Raiders own a 20-0 lead after the opening quarter. And just about everything that could go right went right for Roane. And really, Scott, it's not that they just couldn't get anything going offensively, and just a couple of big plays by that Roane offense. Ball is loose, and I believe that Scott has retained the football, and that was scary for the Skyhawks.
Good job there by Cooper Grant to fall on that loose ball. So they could have avoided more disaster here early on in this second quarter for the Skyhawks.
And Brown just trying to fight for additional yardage there. And not sure if he got stripped or what.
Looks like the ball kind of got punched out a little bit. Not really sure he actually had total control over it when he was going to be hit.
Cooper Greathouse might have had the strip. Here is a pass to Sharps. Sharps makes the grab. There is a penalty marker down as Sharps was driven out of bounds by Jacob Greathouse.
Sort this one out.
Mr. West with the call here coming up. Jim West, television show, The Wild Wild West, remember?
I was hoping that, if they had another official named Artemis Gordon, we'd really be in good shape, Mark.
Yeah, great job, all these officials around the state and beyond for what they do each and every athletic event, not just Friday nights in high school football, but all of the sports. So it is third down. And 15 for Scott. Keep this drive going. Ball right at midfield. Jeremiah Brown going to be forced to roll, and Brown will be driven out of bounds. Colton Starcher over there to make the play.
A junior linebacker pursuing well, had really good angle there on Jeremiah Brown. Wasn't able to get the corner on that. It's going to force a punt for the Skyhawks. You see all the pressure and Jeremiah Brown running for his life. Really good speed there by Starcher, that junior. He's a good-looking kid, Mark.
Yeah, he really is. He's stout.
He's a good-looking football specimen there.
Jacob Greathouse, Javon Letourneau are back deep. And that one will be gathered in by Letourneau, and you can't let that guy loose. There is a penalty marker down, and he will be chased out of bounds by the Skyhawks. Jaden Dameron. See what the penalty marker is all about, and we'll head down to Hannah Klein.
I think that was a blindside block or a defenseless block there on one of the contained people for Scott. So it's going to march Roane County back in the hole again. Yep.
Well, now this is where Scott has to take advantage from the prevent side, Jim. You pin them back deep again. You did so earlier, but then Greathouse fired that touchdown pass to Letourneau. All right, Hannah Klein, let's send it down to Hannah here on this beautiful October evening.
All right, Mark, I appreciate you always. You know my favorite part about FNR is, of course, the cheerleaders. So I'm right here, and tonight is alumni night for the cheerleaders and also the football players. So as always, I got to check out my cheer moves and see how I do. So you graduated, what, 2025? Yeah. You're not an alumni. What is this? Baby.
Well, that's what I told him. I said, if I was here in January, does it really count?
I guess so.
I guess.
And then tell people you graduated
I don't want to, but 2005, yes. Yep.
I need to go over here. You also graduated in
2005.
2005.
Yep.
And then who's next to you? Because this is cool.
This is my daughter, and she's a sophomore this year.
Isn't that so neat? Yeah, I love that.
20 years later.
How cool is it to be able to cheer, like, be on the sidelines with your mama?
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, she stands right beside me. Definitely.
So tonight we're together.
Awesome. And then we were talking, how cool is it to be back, stretch out those legs, and get back to some of those cheers?
Feels great. It's like a family again. I mean, it's like you never missed a day. Like practice every day. Family here, family all of us. So.
All right, guys. So I asked you, teach me a cheer. I said something simple. Let's do it before we send it back. I'm ready. Okay, that's easy. I'm pretty good, Mark. I'm going to sit down here and practice my cheer. You better practice yours too, Mark, all right? I'll send it back.
Well, I was going to say, now they let the alumni cheerleaders come back, but they don't let the players come back.
Yeah, I wonder what's the problem with that.
I was talking to Paul Burnett earlier tonight. Toby Ford's a great athletic director. 26-yard run there by Starcher Jeremiah Brown made the touchdown-saving tackle, so it's a first down. Clay Center first down here in this second quarter. Starcher again with some good yardage as he fights his way up the field. Toby Ford was an all-state punter at Spencer High School. He was on that state championship team that Spencer had with Jim Hamrick, and he was also a state champion wrestler, I asked Toby, I said, you got any kicks in you tonight? He said, no.
Lost all of his eligibility somewhere along the way. Mark, we were driving through, of course, you had as well drove by the old Spencer High School. Boy, there's some legendary games on that field with the old classic Jim Hamrick.
Yes, no doubt.
He's a dandy.
Some shots of Jim. As we move along here's Starcher, and it seems like they're wanting to feed Starcher now here, Jim.
Yeah, Eli Gillespie, pretty good job there getting off of that block, number 77, toting a very fond number for myself.
Yeah, there you go.
Easy to spot. Be a nice feather in the Skyhawk cap if they could just somehow stuff this.
Yeah, they need to stop.
Yeah, they just need to stop so Roane County can give the ball back, give him a little bit of momentum here about almost halfway through this second quarter.
I mentioned that Roane County coaching staff, another guy that helps on Friday night. He's a great wrestling coach and was a football coach here for a long time and just a great athlete. Wayne Jarvis. Great house on the sneak. See where they spot it.
Yeah, they're coming in on both sides. It depends on whoever has the better angle. It's going to be mighty close, Mark.
You want Paul Burdette.
If it's close enough for a mark, it looks like he's just a little bit shy, I think.
Well, you have a 3-touchdown lead, and you got some horses back there. And let's see, they'll stretch out the chains here. And what do we have? Boy.
Just a little shy.
That was mighty, mighty close. Roane now 1 of 2 on third downs.
It doesn't appear that Roane County has any intention of punting. Looks like they're going to line this one up on fourth down in their own territory.
And if you are Jeremy Dolan's crew, and it might be a case where Roane just tries to pull you off. Be on the guard for that. But big plays have been the story here in this first half.
Ran off 70 yards, ran off 36 yards, some big time throws.
Here is the pitch, and they got him. Well, they went for the outside run, and Jeremiah Brown takes down Javon Letourneau, and what a defensive play there for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, that was really an excellent job of them staying home. I think Paul Burdette's crew probably felt like Scott was going to stack at middle because maybe they might try a sneak or something, power up the middle with Starcher or something really powerful or a quick counter. But when you string it outside like that, you're taking your chances. You'll see here on the replay that even with the quick toss to Letourneau, they were right there, right on it. You'll see good job there, wreaking havoc. Again, Eli Gillespie fighting off that block, good quick step inside.
Well, the inside handoff, and Drake Daniels gets the call, the freshman. Leo Rogers coming up to make a stop there. Rogers also plays a lot of tight end, 5'10", 225, a junior. No gain on the play. Second down and 10.
Well, we'd certainly say, I would think at this point, with Jeremy Dolan's crew, he's in 4-down territory no matter what.
Send 2 receivers to each side. Jeremiah Brown stands tall and fires, and it will be Daniels making the catch and then breaks the tackle, and Daniels at the 20, the 10, and knocked out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Evan Greathouse makes the play there to keep Daniels out of the end zone, but a Clay Center first down, and the Scott Skyhawks knocking at the door.
And Daniels showing some really good speed there, some wheels there going down the sideline. Short of Evan Greathouse knocking him out, saving a score for the Skyhawks.
A 41-yard pass and catch. And Brown got hit just as he delivered it. And then how about Daniels breaking 2 tackles? And I believe the Skyhawks, they want to get it right.
Yeah.
And they'll call a timeout here. with 6:29 showing on the clock. It's a 20-0 lead for Roane County. Scott threatening here on our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by Glenville State University. Scott Skyhawks out of the timeout, ready to go here.
And I think a smart timeout there by Jeremy Dolan, wanting to make sure he gets it right here, Mark. 2 yards out from pay dirt.
Nice ground level shot there. Brown takes the snap. Brown looking to throw and in the direction of Sharps, and it falls incomplete. Caden Sharps, just a very intelligent player, finds the opening. He's the only returning receiver. Boy, they had a bunch of outstanding receivers. Some of them at the University of Charleston. Matt Fry, who's a great quarterback a few years back, he's the backup quarterback at UC.
And Mark, Jeremiah Brown got little, if any, time. Richard Greathouse, the senior nose tackle, straight up through the gut, untouched, right in his grill.
Brown 4 of 6. Here is the handoff, and Neal trying to get there but can't.
And we see Colton Elliott, the senior defensive end, crashing down on that one.
Yeah, Elliott's a guy, hadn't played a lot of defense, but very intelligent player.
Him and Starcher gang tackling on that, putting down a third down, right where they kind of just right maybe a football length inside they were when they stepped out of bounds.
Skyhawks break the huddle. Brown gets the handoff, fakes it, and lofting in the direction of Sharps and goes incomplete.
That's pretty rare for Sharps. He's really sure-handed. Kind of got some separation there over in the corner. Looks like kind of a dark section of the field, Mark. I'm not sure if that had any effect on Sharps. Pretty decent throw there by Brown under some pressure. You see he gets separation. He just maybe timed the leap, but just a little bit too early.
Scott 0 of 5 on third downs. High above here.
It's a big lift for the Skyhawks if they could punch this one in from 2 yards out, Mark.
There's the snap, and Brown is going to be tripped up. There is a flag coming out. Leo Rogers made the tackle. Nice play by Rogers. Jim West. And it's going to be a call. against the Raiders.
Interesting, they called a face mask, and then they said replay 4th down. It's a very odd penalty. I don't know how you would replay 4th down. I guess it's not an automatic first down, so they're getting half the distance from the 2 to the 1. Now it's 4th down again. Let's get another shot at it, Mark.
Golden opportunity here for the guys in the gold and black. Scott called the timeout.
They did. Trying to get this right really needs to put points on the board before they go in at halftime.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do, rush matters. Now, Jeremy Dolan, we talked about him in his 5th season as the head coach of Scott. What a job he's done. Unfortunately, it's going to be his last season. A very demanding job with the State Corrections Department. Great guy, and always enjoy talking with Jeremy. Of course, we've known Paul Burdett a long time. One of the outstanding Raider football players. Paul was the North-South head football coach a couple of years ago. And it's always a dream when you can come back and be the head coach of your alma mater. We get to see that a lot here on FNR, Jim.
Yeah, it's really nice to see. I mean, people talk about you can't be a prophet in your own land, but Paul Burdett's obviously been an exception to that. Great rapport. He has a really good staff. Really nice culture he's established here at Roane County.
And, you know, it's high school football, and, boy, they've had it going here the last few years. But yet they went through an 0-10. They went through some lean times. You know, it happens. And
everything's cyclical in high school football, and you're absolutely right.
But you just keep battling for another day. As Scott battles down, boy, here comes the rush, and the Raiders, they are going to take down Scott quarterback Jeremiah Brown. An outstanding job there by the Raider defense. They brought guys from everywhere. Garrett Brabham, he was second team All-State last year.
It's just a looping. He didn't get the pressure. He got some pressure in, but you had also pressure from Leo Rogers to make Brown step from his right to his left, and he couldn't even get the ball off.
A distant relative, we're told, Jeff Brabham, the late Jeff Brabham, boy, he was a great athlete.
He was a good one.
Spencer High School under Jim Hamrick.
Played against that fella. He was tough as nails.
He was stout. All right, so big stop for the Raiders, but maybe still a confidence builder for Scott. We'll see. Boy, they'd love to have had those points. And now here is Letourneau, and Letourneau turning on the Jets. And forced out of bounds there by Sharps.
You know, really wasn't even touched by anyone. He just kind of stepped out of bounds, kind of conserved the clock a little bit. Really nice kick out there you see, freeing him up.
14-yard pickup for the talented sophomore.
That kick out was Colton Elliott, a senior center, pulling after he snapped it.
First downs in this second quarter. Sponsored by the Clay Center, where science and art come alive. Great house under center. Turns, hands it to Colton Starcher, and the Skyhawks hang on to Starcher for dear life.
Still able to get about 4, Mark, on that one.
Ethan Bowe, a senior, number 66, made the stop. Second down, 5. Football at the 27-yard line. And just joining us, 3 big touchdown plays. The difference in this one, Roane County lighting it up here is Greathouse. And Greathouse high stepping it for the first down. The Clay Center first down as he gets it to the 36-yard line. You played with a great player at Ravenswood, Jim Reindeer Morgan. That kind of reminded me of a Jim Morgan run.
Did a lot of those high-stepping, jumping over guys and running through guys, and really good job there by Evan Greathouse. Again, Mark, I don't want to belabor the point, but a sophomore. He's got a promising career here in Roane County.
Ryan Neal, probably the best pure tackler on the team, according to Jeremy Dolan. He made the stop there. Fresh set of downs here for the Raiders. If you are Scott, you want to keep them out of the end zone. Here is Starcher, and just like that, they're going to find the end zone. Starcher will race and score. 64 yards. There is a flag on the play. I don't see the flag, but I think it's a flag. Let's see.
There is a flag back there at the 35-yard line. Right, looks like right at the line of scrimmage, but I see the Roane County side cheering. Oh, sideline violation for Scott.
Jim, those are the tough elements of football. You are on the verge of scoring. You don't score, and the other team takes it the other way.
With another big play. You know, it wasn't like they just grinded it out. It's just been one big play after another. 4 touchdowns off of 4 plays that are more than 10 yards.
We saw that last week. Ripley on the verge of scoring, fumbled at the 1-yard line. Winfield took it 99 yards, went up 14-0 instead of maybe being a 7-7 game.
Yeah, it always changes the complexion of the game, changes the player's attitude as well. So just Scott's just got to really fight after, just keep their heads up.
Greathouse drifting back. Greathouse looking guns, and that one will go incomplete. Well, if you are Scott and you're thinking about making a comeback in this game, you would certainly think about missed opportunities for the Raiders on extra points. But there is Starcher. Going to have some stops on guys like that if you're going to fight back in this game. Starcher, an impressive run. 4 plays, 92 yards, 125 off the clock. Our scoring summary being sponsored by the West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program. Just like every play counts on the field, every decision counts behind the wheel. Put the phone down, keep your eyes on the road. Don't drive distracted. Put it down, save a life.
Yeah, Mark, you talked about that 2-point conversion. Roane not able to convert. You had Jacob Starcher Jacob Greathouse throwing to Evan Greathouse, and one zigged and the other zagged, so he threw it in the wrong direction. But he was wide open, breaking toward the left pylon.
Well, 3:51 showing on the clock. And if you are Scott, you'd love nothing more than to get on the board before the break and see if you could chip away here.
Now, if you recall, Mark, I believe Scott won the coin toss, which they deferred, and Roane County took it, and first play, there you go. Well, that was actually the onside. But they'll get the ball to start third quarter.
Cody Howard, Mark Mosley style there.
I don't know how many people would actually know. I know exactly who it is. That's a good one.
Well, hey, he was a great kicker. I kicked a little bit. We had the same initials, MM.
There you go. You're a Washington Redskin.
Drake Daniels. You know, the late Paul Lanham, we talked about him in that game last week. He coached Mark Mosley. He said referees would come up to him. They thought that he had a loaded shoe and like a loaded right leg. He was so powerful. We're going to get down to Hannah here after this first play. 15-yard return there by Drake Daniels, who's been impressive here in this opening quarter. Opening half, I should say. 3:47 remaining. Jeremiah Brown and company ready to go to work. Jeremiah will go straight ahead with it. Fights his way to the 36-yard line. Down to Hannah Klein we go. Hannah, is it still ice cream season? Not sure if we had Hannah's mic there or not. We'll check back in with her. You know, we were at Scott 2 weeks ago. She hooked us up with the hot fudge cake, Jim.
I was kind of thinking
it had ice cream in it. So see if I'll take a drumstick, Hannah, if you're buying. Here is Brown across the middle trying to get it into the hands of Sharps, but it goes incomplete.
A little bit behind him. Pretty good coverage there by Jacob Greathouse.
You know, it's one of the fun things here on FNR, roaming all these different venues and seeing what they have to offer. Part of the fun of coming to a game.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's unique because not very many venues we go to that have ice cream trucks with a plethora of items there in that truck, I might add.
Jeremiah Brown takes the snap, guns, and that one is intercepted by Starcher.
And what a great athletic move there by Colton Starcher, the junior, number 33. He's eyeballing Jeremiah Brown. He was just actually ghosting him. He's called a spy in case Brown takes off, so he's just kind of staying in the middle. You'll see this on the replay. Just right there, leaps up, tips it, tip drill to himself, turnover. I believe the first turnover of the game. I believe so. Been validated by the always right Robert Stegall. I'm never going to bet him again, that's for sure.
6th interception of the season for the Raiders. That's the first for Starcher.
First time we've seen Garrett Brabham with the ball, Mark, or not very often is he running it. Typically, we'll have Letourneau or we'll have Starcher or a whole host of different Roane County Raiders that can tote the ball.
7-yard pickup there for Brabham, who came into the game for a couple of touchdowns. Second and 4. And dancing for yardage there is Letourneau. He has the Clay Center first down. Jan Dills is proud to sponsor the streaming of tonight's FNR game on Facebook and YouTube. Injured in a car wreck. Call Jan Dills, attorneys at law. We won't take no for an answer.
A little bit more up-tempo here for Roane County, knowing the clock's against them a little bit here.
Brabham on the carry. Mason Brown got him low. Jeremiah Brown got him high.
And Mark, what I really like, especially on the edge from Roane County, is how the edge blockers are staying on their blocks. They're not just hitting them one time and letting them go. That's part of why they're able to spring for those longer plays. See how he drives past Jeremiah Brown. Jeremiah Brown gets off the block, but not before he gets 4 or 5.
Jim, did Hannah just decide to eat ice cream and she just didn't even?
She didn't tell us. She didn't
She
tell
didn't
us.
even-
She's mad at me. I was ribbing her a little bit about Ohio State, and I think that she's a little bit upset by me.
Those are fighting words. And here is the handoff, and it is Starcher on the move. Jeremiah Brown with the tackle.
Yeah, Scott could really, really the way Roane County's moving that ball and really being cautious about keeping it on the ground. We know that's the direction they're going to do it. They could really go for a nice turnover there, put a hat on the ball and see if they could knock that ball loose and stop this drive of the Raiders.
Yeah, another Clay Center first down again this drive for Roane County. Due to the interception by Starcher, handed off to Brabham, who is gobbled up there in white jersey traffic and taken down.
Yeah, not really a whole lot of speed up here. Now we see finally a timeout by Roane County with 41 ticks left in the half mark.
Well, again, it has been the half of big plays. 70 yards, 36 yards, 94 yards. Starcher's big touchdown run. Now Marshall with a big game tomorrow. Thundering Herd going up against Texas State, the Bobcats. Homecoming in Huntington. Join us for Marshall football today with Tony Gibson, presented by the West Virginia Lottery. That will come your way at 9:30 on Fox 11.
Well, Mark, we've got one of our teams here from Boone County. Tony Gibson, a Boone County graduate from Van High School.
All right, Hannah Klein does not have ice cream, but she does have the gun. And our T-shirt gun is brought to you by the West Virginia Federal Credit Union. Experience the credit union difference. All right, Raiders Ready to go here. 41.2 ticks showing. 2nd and 9. Ball at the 15-yard line. Scott trying to get a stop. Roane County trying to get a 5th touchdown of the game. And here is Greathouse rolling. Greathouse firing. Starcher catching. Touchdown Raiders.
Mark, the only way to say that was just a blown coverage. Everybody went deep looking at Letourneau. They had 2 guys on him. Not a single soul on Colton Starcher.
Greathouse's 2nd touchdown pass of the game. That one goes for 15 yards.
Mark, sometimes that's more difficult when a guy's so wide open. You know, you see it and you get a little bit excited. You either underthrow him or overthrow him, but really nice job there by Jacob Greathouse, obviously 4-year senior starter.
Makes it a 32-0 lead here.
Greathouse has taken a few snaps in 4 years, I'm pretty sure.
He's ready to take another one here under center. Colton Elliott is his center, and he'll pitch it to Brabham. Brabham will turn it up and find the end zone. And that makes it a 34-0 count.
Good rollout there by Greathouse. A good flick there to Starcher, and easy score for the Raiders. On the run, too, Mark. It's a pretty nice throw from Jacob Greathouse.
Well, they don't throw it a lot, but when they do, Greathouse can gun it.
Pretty effective. And nice 2-point conversion there by Brabham off of the right side. Just a power run around the right end.
Our West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program scoring summary. There goes 6 plays, 38 yards, 2:26 off the clock. And it's a 32-0 advantage for the Raiders.
Not leaving a whole lot of time on the clock for Scott to do much unless they can really break one here on this kickoff return.
2 very successful programs. Again, they met here last November. Well, it was chilly. Roane County victorious, on its way to playing for the AA state championship. The freshman, Cody Howard, kicks it off and fumble, and I believe that the Skyhawks have managed to corral it, which is all they needed there, is to have a fumble there on the kickoff. It was Mason Brown. So there are 33.2 seconds showing on the clock. Jim West.
Well, you see a flag on the play, and I think it had something to do with some contact that was nowhere near the ball. We'll see what Mr. West has in store for us. Probably dead ball, personal foul against the Skyhawks. We don't like to cite who they were. I know who it was, but we don't need to go down that road, Mark.
Well, that will take Scott back a bit. Talked about last week, Jim, the very first playoff game for Scott High School was in 1972 at Ripley's Memorial Stadium.
Yeah.
And we noted they lost to Magnolia, and Magnolia went on to play Ravenswood for the state championship. And your Red Devils prevailed there in Parkersburg at Stadium Field. Carry by Brown. Tackle made by Quentin Cooper.
You know, Mason Brown, who really had a pretty decent game a couple weeks ago against Mingo Central, been very quiet this first half for the Skyhawks.
Well, he had some delicious Marco's pizza prior to the game. In fact, I snuck a couple of slices up here. Delivery of the game, Marco's Pizza to the booth. Marco's Pizza is the delivery of the game, satisfying the FNR booth tonight and every night. Well, we have come to the end of the first half, and Roane County, you know, when you talk big plays have been the story and the Raiders have built a 34-0 lead. Hannah Klein is with Jeremy Dolan, the head coach of Scott High School. Check 1-2.
Not sure what Coach Dolan was talking to Hannah about, but I'm sure he's not really pleased. He's got another half. He's down a lot. He just wants to try to develop some character for his players, see what they can do when they come out and get the ball to start this third quarter.
All right, we have reached halftime here. Time for our Huntington Mall halftime report. Beautiful County Stadium in Spencer, all Raiders in the first half.
Hey everybody, Road Trip and Terry Burhans. We're at the West Virginia Federal Credit Union in South Charleston, and I'm with Mick Arvon. He's the CEO here, and Linda Duncan. You're the one that answers all the questions. Thank you for helping us with Friday Night Rivals. What does it make you feel like when you know you're helping the community and helping out sport like this?
It's always great to help others.
Yeah.
Together, we always make a difference. And we're just trying to make a difference.
West Virginia Federal Credit Union here in South Charleston. Another location is, where's your second location?
St. Albans.
St. Albans. You guys have decided to be part of our sponsorship here for this football game.
Can you hear us now?
Did you have experience, either of you, with
so the shoe up front isn't.
I wasn't a cheerleader, but I played tennis.
Oh, good for you. Got some good, strong forearms, I bet you still.
Yes.
This is something that helps our Friday Night Rivals, and you guys are helping out so much. It's a wonderful thing to be a partner with you, and so many of our folks, you can see them on the T-shirts. I think we're going to be doing some T-shirts with you guys.
Yes.
Nice. So this is a community event. You guys help a lot. You ask the community to help. It used to be a company, but now it's all open to the community.
Yes, we're open to people who live or work in a six-county area, from South Charleston all the way to Huntington.
You see neighbors. You see people that you live around that come in and you help them with their credit problem.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, we do. We want them to come and experience a credit union difference with us.
Say hi to Linda and say hi to Nick when you visit with them. Hey, we're going to go. Together we'll say, now back to you at the ball game. We're going to say that together in 3, 2, 1.
Now back to you at the ball game.
Well, this is a halftime interview brought to you by Kia Dutch Miller. We are in week 8, and I'm right here with Toby Ford, the athletic director for Roane County High School. Talk a little bit about $500 is going directly to your school. How awesome is this?
That is awesome. First of all, I'd like to thank WCHS-TV and FNR for doing this. We're lucky enough to be here year after year as one of the teams chosen to participate in this, and we use this last couple of years, and we'll use it again this year. We let all the kids in free for a game, and we use this to pay for that. So, yeah, it's great.
Anything else that $500 you might be using that towards?
Well, we always use it, pay officials, transportation, just the general fund. So it's really appreciated, and we want to give this back to the kids if we can. So.
I've seen a lot of kids out here tonight. They'll be out there doing the opening part of the game as well.
Yeah, they're going to line up. We have alumni, we have the youth kids, the middle school kids, all coming up, make the tunnel. And we're even having alumni cheerleaders here tonight, too. So it'll be a fun night.
I appreciate you always.
Thank you.
Yep. And again, this is a halftime interview brought to you by Kia Dutch Miller.
All right, thank you so much, Hannah, and our FNR crew in the truck. Kind of bundled up tonight, Jim.
Yeah, it's getting chilly.
It's getting that time. Where's the coffee? They need hot chocolate and coffee in there. We all had ice cream.
Yeah, they brought us ice cream up here on top of the mountain here. And
you had no trouble polishing it off.
I did not.
All right, this first half, you look at it, it's a 34-0 lead. A lot of folks going to say, well, Roane having its way with Scott. Not exactly the scenario, in my opinion.
Yeah, a lot of big plays here. You see right out of the gate, there's Letourneau going 70 to pay dirt off of the left side. Just a quick toss sweep, and he's off to pay dirt with his speed.
Yeah, that was the first play. And then first play of another drive. And it is Evan Greathouse, 36 yards. He takes it in. As you look at some of the stats and total yards, 359. And Letourneau again hauls in the TD pass.
Yeah, that one's dropped right in the bucket. You can't see him. He's blocked there, but I believe that's
a great interception there by Starcher. And that would lead to another score. And Roane County will kick it off to the Skyhawks to begin this second half. And just no question about it, Jim. Scott has got to get busy as Hunter Woodrum takes the opening kickoff.
Yeah, Scott really needs to establish ball control. They've done a decent job, but when they got down there really close, they were down to the 2-yard line. Really a great stop by the Roane County Raider defense, but part of it having to do with a lot of pressure up the middle from Roane County. So let's see if they can establish some tempo here in this third quarter.
Yeah, rushing yards, 270 for Roane, and -2 for Scott.
Yeah, not real good on the ground, but they've had a little success in the air. I believe they got 68 yards through the air in the first half.
A kickoff sponsor by the West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades.
Yeah, Mark, you just talked there about -2 yards rushing. They just went to the positive side there with that Jeremiah Brown scamper around the left side. Looks like he got about 4.
Well, Toby Ford there at halftime. We talked about Toby and great athletic career at Spencer High School under Jim Hamrick. Jennifer Hunt is the principal at Roane County High School. Robin Stump is the assistant principal. Again, Toby Ford is the athletic director. Band director, Hope Stats. Assistant directors, Rebecca Nelson, TJ Metzger. Great people here at Roane County High School. 4-yard pickup. Brown and broken up nicely over there on the far side of the field. Well, Jacob Greathouse, you talk, hey, he's a 4-year starter quarterback, but he's been at secondary pretty much about the same amount of time, and he does a nice job there.
Yeah, great job at Greathouse closing to where not able to secure it was Hunter Woodrum. Ball was thrown just a little bit up the field from Jeremiah Brown. If you put that on the numbers with a little bit more zip to it, they may have had a completion.
Woodrum had some misfortune start the season. He broke his hand. Here is Mason Brown fighting for yardage.
Mark, it just seems like, Roane County's on just a little bit different speed level than Scott is tonight.
And Mason Brown is down on the field.
don't know if he's holding his arm. Looks like he's holding maybe his left side of his shoulder or something. Not sure. Don't want to speculate.
Well, we talked about Scott. They've got the Browns and Roane County with the Great House family and families.
And good to see Mason Brown bounce back up off of that one, Mark. You got shaking his left hand. I think he may be taking a helmet when he was carrying that ball.
Well, he knows one way, and that's to fight
Yeah.
for every inch. But it's going to be 4th down here. Last thing that Jeremy Dolan wanted to do to begin this second half was to kick it away after 3 downs, but I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to be forced to do. Neal is the punter. Now, Brown is the long snapper. And Scott is going to have to call a timeout here. Well, we talked about Paul Burdett and being a Raider, and there he is, number 33. Talked to Jim Hamrick about Paul Burdett as a player, early days of Roane County football, and Jim didn't mince words. He said, well, if I'm picking, my top teams, Spencer and Roane County combined, I got to find a place for that guy.
Wow.
That's a pretty high compliment.
That is saying a lot. There's been some outstanding football players at Spencer/Roane County, and if he's going to be on that all-tourney team that Jim Hamrick selects, he's a pretty good player.
Been a dandy coach as well. Spent time in the system under the wonderful Tom Hardman. There is Paul Burdett. Paul says, you know what? We can still don those shorts.
He's got the shorts on here. It's getting a little nippy here, mid to late October.
53 degrees at the moment. From our weather center and Robert Stegall. Kick in the air. Letourneau says for his teammates just to get away from it, as Hunter Woodrum will down the football.
Saw a little bit of contact when they're trying to put some pressure, maybe perhaps block that punt, but maybe the contact was incidental after the kick.
Well, we were talking about the great Jim Hamrick, and there he is. Longtime head coach at Spencer High, had that 1991 state championship with his son Jay as the quarterback. Matt McCulty, Tank Blosser, Toby Ford. Well, I mean, they had players galore. They were all juniors. They were the runner-up to East Bank, and they all returned, and they became the first Spencer High team to win a state championship in football, and the first team in West Virginia high school football history to win 14 games, as Letourneau is smothered there by white jerseys. That was the first year that they moved to the 16-team playoff in AA, and the Yellow Jackets of Spencer High were the state champs, beat Greenbrier West. What a comeback that game was. Mason Brown there on the stop. Another look at it here, Letourneau, and Brown wasn't out of action long, was he?
No. The loss of 3 there from Letourneau. He just wasn't able to get anything on the edge.
But I remember that Lately Field was just a sea of blue and gold, because Greenbrier West was blue and gold and Spencer was blue and gold, as Starcher gets the call, slowed up there by Jeremiah Brown. Spencer was down 16-0 at halftime and came back and won that game 31-22. One of the classics in state championship history.
Hey, sometimes you talk about the measure of a coach, the ones that can make those adjustments at halftime, and Jim Hamrick was one of the very best, Mark.
Jacob Greathouse going to let it fly, and Letourneau got open and drops it. Oh.
Well, you can't throw it any better than that. I mean, it's right in the breadbasket, so to speak. Letourneau knows it, disappointed in himself.
And how about Greathouse?
Greathouse
just about the time he let it fly, Mason Brown was in there.
Right there. I don't know if it could hit him any better, right in the number. You being a former receiver know you don't let your uniform or your shoulder pads catch the ball, right? You're catching with your hands.
Keep your hands together, thumbs up. Just looking in, not think about running. Now here is Greathouse thinking of running. He is in punt formation. He's going to get the first down and then some. Bridge Valley first down. They lined up to punt and said, nope, going to just take it and get first down yardage and keep the football.
Well, there was no contain on that right side. A great job by Jacob Greathouse. I mean, he just recognized that. He's like, hey, if you're not going to contain the right side, I'll just run around there. They had a double seal there on Eli Gillespie, and he just ran for pay dirt. First down, move the sticks, retain the possession, keep the ball moving.
30-yard pickup there. Saw that video of Jim Hamrick. That's him doing his Mountain State Athletic Conference commissioner's duties. You got the Greathouse 6, the Great 6. We'll bring that graphic back up and kind of explain it to you here. So Richard Greathouse, Evan Greathouse, Wyatt Greathouse, they're brothers. Jacob Greathouse, no relation. Hogan Greathouse, no relation. Cooper Greathouse, no relation. But they all...
The three brothers are senior, junior, sophomore, so they're stair steps.
And Robert Stegall is fighting us over here. He said they're all related.
Somehow they're all tied in.
All right, here tonight in their house, County Stadium. They've been great. And here is Letourneau turning on the Jets. Brown makes a diving attempt. Letourneau for 37 yards.
Yeah, you're going to see on this cut, a great cut, good jab step on the inside, and then a bounce back out to the outside by Letourneau, and he's able to turn on the Jets. You'll see that here in the replay coming up. Another long play by the Roane County Raiders to put some more points on the board.
And then you go back, big special teams play, Jim, the fake punt.
Yeah, fake punt. Rolling down the right side of Greathouse, being able to keep the ball. We were just getting ready to say first punt of the night for the Raiders, but
Starcher lines up behind Greathouse, and Greathouse surges ahead and finds his way into the end zone.
See just a quick counter there by Letourneau, Javon Letourneau, and then he just does that jab step, uses the speed, finds himself in the end zone.
Our West Virginia Governor's Highway Safety Program scoring summary, and it goes 6 plays, 72 yards, 2:30 off the clock, and Roane County with a lead of 42-0. Down to Hannah Klein we go. Hannah?
All right, Mark, we're having way too much fun. Wanted to check out the concession stand for you. So I'm here with Watson. You have to tell me the trick of the trade for the popcorn. This is something that our Mark Martin was really interested in.
There's not really a trick to it. I just put it in the bag and hand it to the people.
All right, let's make some up. Go ahead. Mark, this is for you. I'm going to bring you a couple bags up there. I know you've been munching on some ice cream sandwich, and I'm going to bring you some up. He's got it. All right, Mark, this is going to you. I'll send it back.
Can't wait, Hannah. Breaking the action high above. We take a popcorn break here on FNR. Back here at Roane County High School County Stadium, Devon Letourneau has 10 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. As we bring you our West Virginia State Building and Construction Trades kickoff. And Drake Daniels, just a freshman. Jim, been impressed with that young man.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job. Boy, he took a hit there. Number 37, Leo Rogers, kind of banged him right there on that thigh. It's not something that feels real good when the temperature starts getting below 50. We'll be on a running clock, Mark. The rules as they state in West Virginia football, 42-point differential in the third quarter. That gets lessened down to 35 points in the fourth quarter. So right now we'll be on a running clock unless Scott can put some points on the board here.
Pass intended there for Daniels, falls incomplete.
And one of the few times that Jeremiah Brown's had an opportunity without a guy in his face to throw a ball, he just kind of underthrew Daniels there on that quick out. Some fresh jerseys out there for the Raiders.
Well, out of the hands there of Neal.
Yeah, Neal right through. It's a little bit high for him. Probably still should have been able to gather that one in. On the coverage was Letourneau there on the corner. It appears that Scott's abandoned any chance at the running game, just wanting to throw it at this point in time.
And they did deliver that popcorn.
I was,
it was
a little
fast.
bit shocked, actually. It didn't
That
take
was
very long
fast.
at all.
Hannah didn't, but she got it. All right, here is a pass that is going to fall incomplete. Hunter Woodrum was the intended receiver.
Well, there is a flag on the play, Mark, and the coverage was Jacob Greathouse, the quarterback. So, you know, we'll see what the call is here.
Jeremiah Brown airing it out. Jim West with the call, and it will go against the Raiders.
It's one of those tough calls, Mark. You saw the replay there. Greathouse a little bit frustrated with himself, but feeling like he has an opportunity too. The defender has an opportunity to the ball just like the receiver. So he felt like he had the inside track, but there was a little bit of contact there.
New opportunity here for the Skyhawks. Brown with pressure coming from Brabham, and Mason Brown cannot hang on.
Yeah, he got a little happy feet there, Mark, trying to take off before he actually had the ball in the possession.
Scott has tried it on the ground 21 times just for 3 yards. Says a lot about that Raider defense. I want to congratulate Lakin Campbell. She was the queen last week of the 71st annual Black Walnut Festival. Jim, we missed the Black Walnut Festival by one week. Now, you talk about some funnel cake.
Oh, absolutely. World famous funnel cake.
Here's the handoff, and Daniels, and grinding to midfield.
Yeah, Daniels
some
did a good
looks of the
some stuff.
Black Walnut Festival, downtown Spencer, and just a great time of year. And we'll talk about it a little later, but, you know, they've had a football game tied to the Black Walnut Festival down through the years called the Black Walnut Bowl, and they would typically play it on Thursday nights. But some great shots. I know our Terry Burhans was up in Spencer previewing just one of the many wonderful festivals, kind of like their county fair here in Roane County. Well, nowhere to go there on the handoff. It was Cooper Grant, and he was swallowed up. So Roane County, a 5-9 record in Black Walnut Bowl games. Spencer was 15-10. Walton was 2-5. Spencer and Walton met 5 times. Spencer won all 5. But there is a team that's not from Roane County that has a perfect 3-0 record in Black Walnut Bowls, and that is your alma mater of Ravenswood. Ravenswood was 3-0 Black Walnut Bowls against Spencer. Not sure if you played in any of those. I was trying to think because most of those games were Thursday night games. Pass in the direction of Daniels, who makes the grab and then is taken down. Leo Rogers will make the stop on the far side. Daniels gets up a little slow.
Daniels been getting up slow, but he keeps coming back for more. Took a pretty good lick there.
I think any time, though, in a high school football game that you can attach the word bowl to it, I think is kind of neat.
Yeah, it makes it unique. And we got some flags there, some motion there on the Skyhawk offense. Probably the front line. Somebody jumped a little bit.
Roane County's making its 7th appearance on FNR. They defeated Sissonville on the road, and then they have won all their others here. They played 2 games, 20-20. Played Ravenswood and won, lost to Ritchie County. And they've beaten Ripley, Polka, and Mingo Central here at County Stadium in FNR games. Brown lets it fly, and that one goes incomplete, intended for Woodrum. Great house on the coverage there. Time for our T-shirt gun. Brought to you by the West Virginia Federal Credit Union. Hannah Klein with that T-shirt gun. Experience the credit union difference.
I was hoping she could coordinate some of her cheerleading moves with that dance. So there you go, Hannah. There you go.
Brown fires. Brown catches, and then he's taken down. Letourneau and Evan Greathouse will make the stop there on the ever stout Mason Brown. Jeremiah Brown lets it go, and then he got hit as he delivered.
Pretty nice pass there by Jeremiah Brown.
Yeah, no doubt.
To Mason Brown.
Jan Dills is proud to sponsor the streaming of tonight's FNR game on Facebook and YouTube. Injured in a car wreck, called Jan Dills, Attorneys at Law. We won't take no for an answer. Skyhawks with time ticking away here in the third. Pressure comes. Pass caught by Daniels. Stays on his feet, and Daniels not about to give up. Excellent effort of that young freshman, finally taken down there by Gabe Deaver, a senior.
Well, he has a no-quit attitude about him for sure, Mark. He was just not going to go down.
Well, that is going to do it for quarter number 3. Roane County leads at 42-0. Away we go to the 4th. Don't forget, coming up after the game, it's our school bus stop of the game. And that, of course, will happen in our post-game coverage here. A quarter to play. It's Roane County 42 and Scott nothing here on our Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by Glenville State University. Start of the fourth quarter here. Jeremiah Brown firing in the direction of Woodrum, and that will fall incomplete. 42-0 lead for Roane County over Scott. Friday Night Football Extra coming up at 11:10 tonight on WCHS. Zach Brown, Bailey Tucker, and yours truly navigate 119 back into the capital city. I sure will. I sure will. Beautiful drive coming up.
For point of clarification, Mark, Zach Brown will not be singing. I'm sure he'll be broadcasting. It's not the Zach Brown other people were thinking of. So just thought I'd throw that out there.
All right, so Roane County takes over.
Yeah, Scott not able to capitalize on that 4th down and 6. Didn't feel like they could get it on the ground. Mark, they had to go through the air. Jeremiah Brown threw that one just a tad too high.
Oh, we were talking about, great things here in Roane County and in Spencer and at Roby Theater. We mentioned that, and, I know you're a movie buff, Jim, and with a movie theater founded in 1907 right in downtown. And just love driving through downtown Spencer and seeing the Roby all lit up. And, they sell popcorn all the time. You don't have to go to a movie. You can just go
there and get the
walk
popcorn.
right up the street
Absolutely.
there and get it. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing I love about the Roby is they've always maintained that classic look, with the sign and everything else. It's just been really, really special.
Hey, everybody, I've got Chris Miller.
All right, a
at Dutch Miller
42-0
Kia.
lead.
You're helping us out this year, Chris. What made you get on board?
And so we absolutely love high school athletics. We absolutely love giving back to the community, and the simple fact that we can be involved and help all of these different athletic programs all around the state. I mean, how would you not want to do that? It's high school football season. It's going to be so much fun. We get to watch kids compete and also give back to the community and make sure that these programs have enough resources to take care of these kids.
What you're giving is going to make a difference, and it's going to make some athletic department just that much better.
Yeah, we're all in the scramble to make sure and have enough resources to take care of our kids. And we look at it like our job at Dutch Miller Automotive is that we believe that our business has a symbiotic relationship with the community that it's privileged enough to do business in. And when we do well, we want to make sure the community does well. So we're always doing everything that we can to give back and make sure that we're able to do the fun things we like high school football.
The educators hear it, the parents hear it, the players hear it. We all want to know, where do you keep that checkbook with that big 5-foot check?
So we do have big, long checkbooks, big, huge, checkbooks we give away for presentations too. They're around.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you very much, Chris Miller. Very, very good to work with you, and it's a proud situation for Dutch Miller to be in.
It really is. We're honored to take part. We can't wait to watch these kids compete. It's going to be an awesome high school football season, and you guys get ready, buckle your shin straps. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Let's play ball.
Thank you so much. Well, we've been playing ball here tonight throughout the season, and it has been a lot of fun. It's been a tough night for the Scott Skyhawks, but they keep battling as Roane County now takes over offensively here. Again, big plays, the big story of this game. And Scott just has not been able to counter here tonight.
A lot of fresh jerseys there, Mark, for Roane County. You see a lot of different players getting some good experience and playing time here. They're going to need those players in the years ahead. A lot of sophomores out there on the field right now.
You're talking about high school athletics, and the first state championship event of the year just unfolded there in Wheeling with the state golf tournament.
Cross country around the corner.
Yeah, Hurricane, Shady Spring, Midland Trail, Charleston Catholic. Congrats to those schools for winning quad A, triple, double, and single, respectively. Handoff here, new Raider running back, and it's Matthew Connolly. Well, Jim, we've had the fortune of knowing a lot of great people all across the state and certainly here in Roane County, and one of the great ones that's been such a contributor to Roane County athletics, Spencer High athletics, all around the county for many years, Sue Knotts. She's standing by with Hannah Klein.
I told her earlier, I said, I wish that you could hear what Mark has to say, because all game he's been talking just great things about you guys. I wish you guys could talk right now, but I know you can't. Just tell people if they're not familiar with you. Like Mark was saying, you're really well known in the community.
Oh, thank you. Like I said, we taught here for 32 years and coached for 25 of those, and we just enjoy giving back to the community and staying involved. Of course, most of these guys, we had their parents, so it's been a lot of fun, though.
You were telling me, and I was like, you got to tell Mark this. Just celebrated a new grandbaby, huh?
Yes, we have a new granddaughter born in September, 2 days before my birthday, so that's close enough. But we have 2.5-year-old grandson as well. So Mark knows our daughter Ashley very well from sports, so hopefully we'll have another little jock in the family.
He's laughing right now. How awesome is it, though, to be right here, take photos, but also kind of connect with people in the stands in the community?
Well, like I said, it's keeping us young, just to be involved with it and everything. We still do the GED testing for our community in Roane and Jackson County, so it's tough to retire from teaching when you love it, but to stay involved has been really important to us.
And what's impressive, though, is these cameras are so heavy. I've tried.
I feel like a wimp out here with my monopod, but I'm not giving it up.
I know your one arm hurts after the games. I know it does.
A little arthritis kicks in.
That's okay. All right. Well, I really appreciate you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Hi to everybody out there.
All right, Hannah, thank you so much. Sue Knotts, her husband Todd, great people.
Oh, they were. I'm sure Sue remembers me from a few basketball games. Perhaps.
Were you the official?
I was the official that gave her a technical at Ravenswood, and she never forgot about it. Apparently, neither have I.
All right, a pitch going the other way. The Raiders. Gabe Deaver still running for yardage inside the 15. Flags do come out. Her husband, Todd, was the baseball coach at Old Spencer High School last year for Spencer, and they made it to the state baseball tournament at Wapow Park in Charles. He had a great pitcher by the name of Kane Davis, and Kane went on to play Major League Baseball.
Yeah, when you got a good horse like that, you can ride him all the way to the state playoffs.
Roane County was formed in 1993. Jim West going to give us a call here. Going to go against the Raiders. But Walton High School, home of the Tigers. Spencer, home of the Yellow Jackets. And they came together in 1993. About Jim Hamrick, he was the first head coach for Raider football. Paul Burdett, he's been the longest tenured head coach in Raider football history.
If things go his way, Mark, he should be close to reaching the century mark if he can get through the playoffs of the first round. In wins. I should say century mark in wins.
Spencer Middle, they have a really good football team this season. His son, Brogan, is the quarterback. Dave Jones making the tackle.
Mark, you got to know Paul Burnett's got to be really pleased. Got a lot of second teamers out there, and they're still moving the ball pretty effectively.
Yeah, you got Letourneau. He's the quarterback now.
He's shifted from a wide out slot running back. Now he's taking snaps under center.
Don't forget DB.
Yeah, he's
kick returner.
Still doing that too. You got to keep those sophomores out there. They're a little younger.
Cody Howard's in the backfield. Deaver's in the backfield, and hand it off to Matthew Conley, and Conley will be taken down as the Skyhawks. Also some young players. Tucker Harvey, freshman there on the tackle. Here is our Champions of the Game trophy. Trophies provided by Tri-State Trophy, going to the winner of tonight's contest. Beautiful trophy. We'll catching up with the winning team. Again, Jim, we've seen Scott 2 times here on FNR in the span of 3 weeks. And again, they've had some injuries. Some things have changed. But hey, what? Jeremy Dolan, his staff, they've done a great job. They had great success down through the years. Deaver gets the call here. And, let's note that for the 5 losses coming in to undefeated teams, and you got a team here in Roane County that has just 1 blemish.
So their opponents, their record with the teams they've lost to is some big number and 1, probably about 24-1 against those. They've had some really stiff competition, the Skyhawks have, and they've really, I like their character. I like Coach Dolan, the fact that he puts those kids in there and they keep fighting all the way to the end.
There's just a lot of guys you always look forward to seeing, and of course, we get to know these coaches on such a personal level. Pitch going to Howard. Big hit over there on the sidelines. And just, you look forward to seeing them. And these are 2 guys that we always enjoy seeing. We pulled a joke on Paul Burdett a few years back. He was a young assistant for Tom Hardman. And Tom Hardman said, Mark Martin wants to interview you. And he sent Paul out there. And that was, I don't know, Paul said that was the first interview he ever did. And he was a nervous wreck. But we reflected on his days as a Raider player.
Alex Pennington hurled the ball carry out of bounds.
Here's Howard sneaking through, but nevertheless, Paul has – he did a good job that day, but he has certainly been a guy that we've had a chance to chat with a lot. Well, you talk about great players in the history of Scott High School. How about that guy? Kennedy Award winner Jordan Roberts. I mean, he was absolutely sensational for Shane Griffith and the Skyhawks. I mean, he just would twist and turn in every direction. He said really what had really made him such a great player was he got involved when he was young in gymnastics. He walked on at WVU and was doing quite well, had a good game in the spring game, turned in a big touchdown run. Scott does a nice job stringing out the play there as Conley gets the call. But, Jordan, like a lot of guys, he wanted to play. So he goes to the University of Charleston. Well, he's in their Hall of Fame, and he spent some time with the Kansas City Chiefs out of his UC career. But one of the all-time best, Jordan Roberts.
It's something. What an electric player he was, Mark. He could be bottled up. Next thing you know, he's out wide open. I don't know how he got there.
07 Kennedy Award winner. As the best player in West Virginia.
4th and short here for the Raider offense with 1:13 on the clock.
Handoff here. Deaver will be taken down. We talked about him a couple of weeks ago, and he's worth mentioning again. That's Jim Myers. Called him raw beef. And he was a long-time offensive line coach under Tom Landry with the Dallas Cowboys. And he is from Madison. Passed away July 17, 2014 at the age of 92. He's believed to be the oldest living member of the Scott High School Alumni Association. Roane rushing, 40 attempts, 401 yards here tonight. But you talked about a couple of weeks ago, the holding up the card.
He had the card up. They didn't have the Microsoft tablet then, Mark, so it was just a little 4x4, looked like a 4x4 index card.
He played at Tennessee, Coastal Wofford, Vanderbilt, UCLA, Iowa State, Texas A&M, and with the Dallas Cowboys in some Super Bowls. Part of the rich history of Scott High School football. On this night, it is all Roane County. Big plays, and the Raiders move to 6-1. The Skyhawks drop to 1-6. And we'll have post-game ceremonies coming up as we present our Champions of the Game trophy to Paul Burdett and his Roane County Raiders. But at the moment, we take a look back at some great scenes of high school football on Thursday and Friday nights.
The best Thursday night lights and Friday night rivals highlights from across the country.
Is Max Rebish. The long snapper is Kenny Jett. The kick is no good. It's blocked, but then caught by the Red Knights, and they find the end zone. Touchdown, Toronto. Michael Henry got his field goal blocked, caught it, and said, look what I found. Touchdown. In one of the most bizarre football plays you will ever see.
48 yards per score. He's in motion again. They throw behind the line of scrimmage. Double pass. Looking deep. Prince Terrence has it. Give him his crown again.
Right from his own end zone. Pounds got to get rid of it. He does. Throws it long. Has a receiver. And it's a catch by Jackson. Quintrell Jackson, one man to beat. Oh, my goodness. The Golden Gophers score again. Another City of Bessemer touchdown.
Here's Michael to throw. Over the middle. Ball tipped. And intercepted. That is Nicholas Alvarado with the pick.
This is a short kick. Picked up there by Scoop Smith. Reversing field, and he's dragged down. Oh. No, he's still on his feet. Scoop Smith reversing upfield. Look at Scoop. He tricked everyone. 70 yards.
This is the school bus stop of the game. Always remember
time for our school bus stop of the game. Well, they were down 20-0. That being the Scott Skyhawks, 4th down, and Roane County stopped. And Jim, if Scott was going to have any chance to get back in this game, I felt it was right there, and they just absolutely could not get it in. And they fall here tonight to the Roane County Raiders by a final of 42-0.
Yeah, extra pressure there by Garrett Brabham, and was able to bring down Jeremiah Brown. They brought all that pressure, and they were ready to go.
Javon Letourneau, our Go-Mart player of the game. Go for good times. Go for Go-Mart, 10 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he caught a pass, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Pretty good night. All right, Hannah Klein is down with Paul Burdett and his victorious Roane County Raiders. Take it away, Hannah.
All right, Mark, I appreciate you. I know it's a little chilly out here. First, I want to go over to the player of the game. Congratulations. First, I want to talk about the whole team's performance. How are you guys feeling?
We're feeling great. I mean, we came into this week, practice real hard, and we knew it was going to be a tough game, but we just came out, executed, and did our assignment to get the win.
What did this win mean to you guys?
It meant a lot. I mean, record doesn't matter. We came in here, made a statement, and just got the win.
Coach, I'm going to come over to you. 42 points. I want you to look at that scoreboard. Congratulations. What does this mean to be able to look into that crowd, see family, see friends, see all of those players' parents, and have that win right here at home?
Well, it's a big deal. I just told the guys we've been practicing really good, and I attribute that to how we've been playing on Friday nights. We've gotten better each and every week, and we just got to continue to do so as we move throughout the season.
And what people didn't see, because we were on a break, is you guys coming together after the game, coming together, and you talked to the players, but you also prayed with them. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, we're family. That's how we approach things up here. We say I love you all the time, and we go out and play for each other and play for the whole group, and that's a big deal. And all these guys know that that's how it's done, and each guy that comes in as freshmen understand that. And it's a family atmosphere, and that's how it's going to be.
Well, I'm going to congratulate you guys, FNR Champions of the Week. Congratulations. Now I want to hear from you guys. Congratulations. All right, good job, guys.
Thank you, Hannah. 489 yards of total offense tonight, Jim Mahan. And the Raiders victorious are now 6-1. They got Nicholas County next. Scott falls to 1-6. They'll play Man next. Next for us will be not too far away, right there in the capital city. We'll be at UC Stadium at Lately Field as the George Washington Patriots invade to meet up with the Capital Cougars. But some thoughts on this one here tonight, Jim.
Yeah, just a lot of grinded out on the ground for the Raiders. 401 yards on the ground, 40 carries, 10 yards a carry. Just too much up front there for the Raiders on the Skyhawks. But nice job by them, and see if they can get themselves in a position to play a first-round playoff game here in Roane County.
Yeah, no doubt they came in 9th in AA and hoping to climb the ladder here with just a few weeks left in this regular season of 2025. Hard to believe. And, of course, they came into this season unfinished business. They were runner-up a season ago in AA. They would love nothing better than to get back to Charleston and play for another championship. Great job tonight, Jim. Look forward to seeing you next week in the capital city. Great job by Hannah and certainly our wonderful crew. So that will do it from here inside Memorial Stadium on the campus of Roane County High School, County Stadium. For Jim Mahan, Hannah Klein, and our wonderful crew of Mark Martin, we say so long from Spencer, this wonderful venue, County Stadium, and we always love coming here, and we thank Roane County High School for having us here tonight. We thank all of you for joining us tonight with this latest edition of the Go-Mart Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week presented by Glenville State University. Congratulations to the Raiders of Roane County, 42-0 winners here tonight over the Skyhawks of Scott. And that will do it from here in Spencer. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.